Chilly night out there, but we are tracking another cold front that will bring even colder temperatures in your First Alert forecast.
Live on your side, First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And welcome into Weather Extra here as we're streaming Tania on the app and on our Roku and all of our streaming platforms out there. The weather today is certainly real fall.
It feels just like fall. I mean, those cameras behind you, Wes, show all that we need to see.
I know.
Beautiful. The sunsets are just absolutely gorgeous this time of the year.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. And, you know, the thing about Alabama is we often say it's like fall for a week and then it's winter, right? The weather, it does change quickly around here, but do enjoy every minute of this weather that we're going to be seeing this week with these nice afternoons, lots of sunshine. The mornings are still going to be chilly. Right now, the temperature, it's back on the fall tonight. You look to the sky, though, not a cloud in sight here from our sky vision. So the weather conditions will be absolutely perfect for sky watching, and we have some cool things happening tonight. It's the peak of the annual Orionid meteor shower. Earth's passing through the debris trail left behind from Halley's Comet, famous comet. And late tonight, mainly midnight to around sunrise in the mornings, the peak time to see this. The constellation Orion rises to the southeast, so look in that direction later on tonight. But with a new moon, you can see up to 20 per hour. If you can find a good location, you're up late tonight. If you like catching those meteor showers, just be sure to make a good wish, right? All right, weather headlines. We've got another cold front tomorrow. Showers, real rain showers in the forecast. So before you head out the door, some clouds moving in tomorrow morning. There could be some scattered showers. And yes, we could see a little bit of frost Thursday morning in areas to the far north. Some of those sheltered valleys, I'm concerned that might be an issue there. Nothing widespread, but just shows you even colder mornings are coming up here. And we might have tropical storm Melissa soon down in the Caribbean that we're keeping a watch on. So at the moment, back the view out so you can see here's the cold front. That should be knocking on our doorstep when we hit the road early in the day tomorrow. Some of the forecast guidance showing that south wind, you can see it really doesn't totally go away tonight. We got that little breeze out of the south, but we'll get some clouds moving in. And yes, models still indicating we could see this squeeze out a few showers. Certainly nothing like the weekend, no severe weather, not a lot of rain, but grab the umbrella in the morning just in case. There's 7 o'clock for areas to the north and west. The system sort of slows down some through midday, so for lunchtime plans, there might be some showers around west, central, and eastern areas. Here's 1 o'clock showing maybe a little bit of rain around Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Pell City, over towards Anniston. Certainly will be nice if this verifies and we see this kind of coverage tomorrow. Certainly looks more impressive than what it was looking like a couple days ago, so we'll take any rain we can get, but the afternoon, all this starts to clear out. The winds will shift around from the northwest and then it turns a lot cooler. So this front, this trough is going to be critical in what happens with this wave, which is way out over the Caribbean. It looks like all this is going to phase up and it's going to help to turn that system back to the north and eventually northeast. So I'm not worried about this sneaking into the Gulf. In fact, based on what I'm seeing right now in the long range pattern and with these fronts moving through, I think our hurricane season is winding down, at least for any impacts across our region. We'll see this make a turn to the north, and perhaps it could have some significant impacts around the Dominican Republic, Haiti, over towards the Bahamas as it moves to the north. But notice it also is expected to make a turn out over the Atlantic over the next several days. We have a series of cold fronts on the way. We've got one again tomorrow, and then it dries us out for a few days. Those cold mornings crank up the heat. Saturday into Sunday, though, we start to see that south wind, moisture levels back on the build, and a chance for scattered showers and storms. It looks like by late Saturday, and we could see another round of showers, especially to the south on Sunday and Monday. And this sort of gets us primed in for the next cold front next week, which could really pack a punch around Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm concerned we could see some severe weather. We need to watch that closely. So giving you the first alert next week for a front. And what that's going to do is dry us out, clear things, and make it a lot cooler as we look ahead towards Halloween. So we could be talking about some chilly weather for Halloween. But I have a lot of little friends watching me right now from Shelby County, and I want to give all the third graders out at Calera Intermediate School a big shout out. I had a wonderful visit there today. The kids were all excited about weather. Weather is fun, right, Tania? And we talked about weather safety and, of course, the fall severe weather season, which actually makes this part of the country, this part of the world, in fact, one of the more unique places is that we can have so much active weather in the fall as well as in the springtime. But the kids sure had a blast today, Tania. All smiles with I think it was the cooler temperatures and the sunshine out there today.
Listen, I'm all with them. All smiles for me too. It feels so good out there. I wouldn't say the mornings too much. I'm not a super fan of the cold when I get out the door in the mornings, but the afternoons, I can't complain about that at all. But let's take you beyond the 10-day forecast. How are we looking as we near the end of the month? Well, number one, we're tracking some on and off rain chances that is beneficial to us because we need the rain. We're still dealing with drought across the area. We're hoping that the rain doesn't come around for all of my trick-or-treaters the end of the month, though. Here we are, October the 29th, seeing a good chance for rain across central Alabama and really across the state. The 30th, but it looks to move out just before the 31st. This is midnight Friday on the 31st, and we're looking dry for a few days for that Halloween weekend. So that's great. But what about our precipitation outlook? We're still trending above average as we close out the month of October and head into the first few days of November, which is great news for us here at home because, again, we're still dealing with the drought. And then I also wanted to talk about those temperatures. The good news with the temperatures across our area is that we're actually going to be trending near average. Now, those above average temperatures will be impacting the west and the Midwest, kind of, and maybe the north and east. But as we look here across the lower 48, lower 38, across the southeast, we're seeing near average temperatures with that below average temps for Florida area. But we'll be cooling off here, closing out the end of the month and heading into the start of November. What do you think about that, Wes?
I'm all about it. You know, the weather is really changing. You can tell this pattern's changing. I know we're still in a drought, but we're starting to see more and more fronts, and this will just keep on ramping up until we go into November. Looks like Thursday morning, maybe a little bit of frost, some areas to the far north. This more northeast Alabama, I think. Yes. Fort Payne areas north. That's the greatest concern, but it's a matter of time. Next week, this system moving in, this might be the one that brings that first frost. So we need to watch it.
Oh man, listen, people might need to start preparing their crops in their yards for the frost, right?
Yeah, get ready. It's that time of the year. It's due this time of the year. But hey, we'll see you tonight. We got baseball, so we'll see you back on our streaming platforms at 9 and then on WV.